What you're seeing on screen right now is rumored to be the new Audi TT. Dubbed the Concept C, this car is rumored to be Audi's first ever electric sports car. And if you're wondering who I am, hi, I'm Phoenix Set. I have a 2016 Audi TT right here, 3rd generation. And so I feel like as a TT owner, it would be good to give my opinions on what is rumored to be the new TT. So let's get in the car and let's get started. The car's dead.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
I have to go get the battery recharged. We'll do that eventually, but for now, let's get this cleaned up. Let's go and talk about the Concept C. Now, the first point that I want to make in regards to this Audi Concept C is the fact that up front, it kind of looks like the new Jaguar. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I see a lot of similarities in its design styles and the Jaguar's design styles. And I feel like not many people talk about that much because of the fact that everyone perceived the Jaguar as really ugly, whilst everyone is saying the TT is beautiful, or sorry, the Concept C is beautiful. I don't get it. I feel like it's such a, I guess, hypocritical point of the car community. People for them to say that two very similarly styled cars, one looks great and the other does not. I don't get it. And it's something that just kind of annoys me about a lot of, not car culture per se, but like internet culture, is just the sheer hypocrisy of it. Personally, in my opinion, I think the car, both of them look decent. They both bring a new light for each company. Jaguar, I think, going for the more ultra luxury Rolls-Royce-like, and Audi going for the more curved but angular type of look. The TT, or well, I keep calling it the TT, I'm so sorry. The Concept C is definitely a new direction for Audi, and I can definitely see it going well for that. This car, the Mark III Audi TT, it goes back to a lot of just traditional design styles, which I feel like kind of betrays the TT name in a way because of the fact that the first gen TT was so revolutionary in design. The second gen TT was still decently revolutionary in design. And then this third TT, just, it kind of looks like every other car on the road in a way, with the whole curved beam-like structure. A few other cars share this, such as the Bugatti Veyron. But this car going very angular in the 4th gen TT, I'm gonna either call it the 4th gen TT or the Concept C in this video. I'm so sorry, guys. But I think that the car going very angular is a new design for Audi that they have not tried in years. Like, they had a few like brick-like cars in the past, but nothing to this degree, and I really want to see what they do with it, especially in the rear end. I love the rear end of the Concept C. I love how it still incorporates this curved down design. I think it's just perfect for it. And the fact they made it a Targa top, like, let me tell you guys this right now. If they made this TT in a Targa top, I would not have a fixed roof coupe. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Now, on that note though, it is kind of interesting how Audi did the design language because they incorporate both the curves and the angles into it. A lot of cars, you either have very angular or very curvy. For example, my TT right here, it's very curvy in its design. The hips, they're very curvy. I don't know why I said it like that. The wing, I mean, I don't know how curvy or angular you can go with a wing, so that was kind of a bad example. But like the door, for example, it's very curvy. It does have a little bit of an angle point here, but nothing too insane. Overall, it just has more curves than it does angles. Now, if you want an angular car, the Tesla Cybertruck is a very good example of that, but we don't talk about that. But talking about this angular to curvy thing is just completely different from what this Gen TT or the Cybertruck or any other angular slash curvular car does, because of the fact that it possesses both angular and curves. And it does it in such an interesting way. You've never seen something like this before, or at least nothing like this in actual production cars. And Audi wants to bring this into a production car. So I'm honestly, it's going to be interesting to see these things drive down the road. Now, the next point I want to make with this Audi Concept C is in the front grille of this car. Not this car, but the Concept C's. I feel like it's just a wannabe Bugatti in that way. Like, it reminds me a lot of the Veyron's front end. But then again, though, the Audi Mistral, I think it's called, it's basically the TT slash Veyron's concept car. It kind of goes in that same vein, but I feel like in this case, it's just so much more, like, I don't know. It's probably one of my least favorite points of the car. Now, obviously, this is from the first perspective. I've probably seen this concept car 5 times total, like not in real life, but like in pictures. so maybe it needs some time to grow on me. But I feel like just having a square or like a rectangle up front, it just does not sell me. Like this grill right here is a good example of that. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides on this one. It's a 6-sided hexagon. I'm not too sure about shapes. I did not have a good time in geometry, so yeah. But back to my point though, this has a lot of complex shapes in it, not only in the grille, but also in the headlights, in the fake vents down here, in the whole smile of the grille as a whole. It has it all perfectly like multi-shaped, you know, versus this grille, it's just a rectangle, you know. It's so simple. It is something a child would draw, you know, versus this is like you get a child to draw this and they're drawing, I don't even know, they're gonna draw something that is not this, I can tell you that. But my point is that I feel like the grille, whilst yes, it's being very Bugatti-like, it just kind of doesn't do it for me, you know? Just a solo rectangle just feels kind of yeah. Now, if they had done like a hexagon for that, or I think this is a hexagon, if they had done a 6-sided shape for that, I probably still wouldn't like it. So maybe it's for the better, but at the same time though, it's like they couldn't have picked a better shape than whatever this shape is, or a circle, or not a circle, a rectangle. Like, I mean, yeah, it's probably my least favorite point in the car, if I'm being honest with you guys. Now, another point that I do want to make is that the Concept C is looking to come out as an electric car. And I have a gas-powered Audi here, and I have to say, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now, I don't completely hate the fact that it's electric, but I don't love the fact that it's electric either. Part of the reason being is that it's not meant to be a high horsepower, crazy fast ride, anything like that. It's meant to be something you just enjoy in the back roads. And so with that, cars like the Tesla Roadster have been able to thrive because of the fact that it's a fun electric car. And I hope Audi can do something like that. Because for the love of God, Elon, where's the 2nd gen Roadster? Bring it out already. It's been 5 years. But back to this from my little crash out there. This car, I feel like the 4th generation car will definitely, it'll need to see how it drives, and the dynamics of it, I feel like, will have to matter so much for this car to either be considered a great car or a disappointment. I don't know how to explain that besides that, because of the fact that when it drives, it needs to be fun, you know? Like, TTs are fun. They do weigh it quite a bit, you know? This one's 3,200 pounds, so there's not much that adding a battery will help. If anything, it could probably hurt it a lot, but having a low center of gravity will definitely help the handling, and I think improve the driving experience in that way. So it's the question of how's the weight going to do against the battery, against the horsepower of this car. So that'll definitely be something that once this car is put into production, it'll definitely shape a lot of people's views to either love the car or hate the car. So I'm going to put out my plea here to Audi. Audi, please, 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 to quote Sabrina Carpenter, please make sure that the driving dynamics of the TT Mark IV or the Concept C or whatever you guys are going to call it is good. Please, for the love of all that's holy, please make sure that this car is going to be fun to drive and people are going to enjoy driving it. You'll give EVs a good name, you'll give Audi a good name, and you'll give this car a really good name. So please, for the love of God, if Tesla can do it with the Roadster, and from what people are saying, Hyundai can do it with the Ioniq 5, you guys can do it with the Concept C. Please. Now, I mentioned before that I keep calling the Concept C the TT Mark IV or the 4th gen TT or whatever, but the reason for that is because I believe that that car actually carries on the TT legacy perfectly. The reason being is that the Mark I TT, when the 1st gen TT came out, it revolutionized everything. People had such different views on it. People were so excited to see it because it was such a brand new design language and it had changed so much about the auto industry, even to this day. The 2nd gen TT did something similar to that. It was a new design and it harkened in a new era for Audi with cars like the R8 coming out, the S5 coming out, things like that. And then this car brought in a brand new design language for Audi as a whole, going with the sequential lights, going for the fully digital gauge cluster that we see today, going for the flat bottom steering wheel. All of these aggressive components that carry on in cars like the Audi R8 nowadays have been started because of the TT. The design language for the Mark II, the design language of cars as a whole from the Mark I. And I feel like for the Mark IV, or the Concept C, I keep calling it either one, I think it's going to do the exact same thing. The angular and curvular design is something so incredibly different that I hope to see some other manufacturers trying it, playing around with it, maybe releasing concept cars that look like it, and I think that over time, it'll bring in a new era for car design and for car language, both on the outside and the inside. And I'm really excited to hear about that, because the inside of the Concept C, from what we're seeing, it is so incredibly minimalistic. It kind of reminds me of my 3rd gen TT right here, except for the fact that they're putting in a new screen like right there. So that's where the little bit of difference occurs. But still though, I mean, the hidden second screen, it reckons back to the Audi A7 of like 2014, where the screen pops out for you. What I'm trying to say is that with the Audi Concept C, just like the Mark 1 TT, just like the Mark 2 TT, just like the Mark 3 TT, it brings in a whole new design language and brings in a lot of new concepts that we have probably never seen before and are brand new to us, such as in this car, the digital gauge cluster, such as in the Mark II, the reckoning of Audi with cars like the R8, and in the 1st gen, changing the entire design language of the auto industry. Now, my final point with this is that there's so much about this car that we don't know. We don't know how much range it's going to have, what the 0 to 60 on the battery is going to be like. We don't even know if it's going to even be battery powered. That's just rumors, you know? There could be a chance that it stuffs an EA888 2-liter turbo in it, kind of like what Dodge did with the electric Charger, and now they're going back to Hemis already, which is crazy. But my point being is that there are still so many unknowns with the Concept C that we don't know how it's going to go, how it's going to drive, if it's going to be fun or not, if it's going to be a basic car, kind of like how this TT is in a way. There's so many unknowns so that I don't even know if I like it or if I hate it. Obviously, from how I've been talking, I'm kind of leaning towards that I like the car, but there are so many ways that it could still go so wrong for me to just be like, I hate this thing. I hate the fact that they even made it similar to the TT, that type of thing. So I'm not too sure on that note, though. So it could be a great car. We just have to wait for Audi to tell us some stuff. And on that note, today's video is in fact over. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If the Concept C comes out as the Mark IV TT, will you guys be buying it? Let me know that in the comments below. And if you like what you're seeing, leave a subscribe. And just like that, I'm out. I'm gonna go keep driving around my Mark III, and hopefully the battery doesn't die on me again. Peace.